Hello everyone, welcome to UN Digital Class. So in today's lecture of data science, we are going to discuss about the decision making statements. That means in which we will discuss about how we will write a decision in a programming. That means we have to put a condition, that means whether that condition is true or false, and if the condition is true, then how many statements will be executed, and if that is false, then how many statements will be executed. So that is basically used to make a decision, and on the basis of that decision we have to choose the statements which are going to be executed in the next time. So we will discuss about this in today's lecture. So let us start our lecture. In our decision making concept, you can use, or you can say the programmer can write one or more conditions which are to be tested, or on the basis of that condition there are some statements, or there may be a single statement also which will be executed on the basis of these conditions. That means there are some statements is written and that will be executed if the condition is true, and if the condition is false, also there may be some statements which will be executed. So we will discuss about the conditions and how we will give the conditions in a programming, and then how we will write that condition and how that condition affects the execution of statements which is coming under that. So it is following the general form of typical decision making structure. So following is the general form of a typical decision making structure which is found in most of the programming languages. So this is a flow diagram which represents a decision making structure. That means here we have to provide the conditions, and whatever the condition if you want to, and the conditions are basically a Boolean expression, and we have already discussed about the operators. So operators are used in this condition. That means whether a number is greater than to a specific value or not, if it is not equals to, or any type of condition you can say. And if that condition stays true, or you can say the Boolean expressions output or the result is true, then there is written some statements, or you can say there are some conditional codes which will be executed if that condition is stand true. And if that condition is false, then the control will be outside of the body of that condition. That means the statements is written over here, it is not coming under the conditions written here. So if the condition is false, then it will be outside of the body of that structure, and then other statements will be executed. So this is some basic flow diagram. So first we will discuss about our if statements. So an if statement, as I have says that it consists of a Boolean expression which is followed by one or more statements, and the basic syntax for creating an if statement in R is if Boolean expression, and then within that you have to write down the statements which will execute if the Boolean expression is true. So here we have to write the conditions, and on the basis of conditions, if the condition stays true, then whatever the statements will be executed, that will be written here. Okay. And if the Boolean expression evaluates to be true, then the block of code which is written inside this if statement will be executed. And if the Boolean expression evaluates to be false, then the first set of code after the end of the if statement, that means you can say after closing of the curly braces, will be executed. That means if the conditions whatever we have written inside this if it is stays true, then the statements which is written or which are enclosed within this curly braces, or you can say that it is the statements which is coming under this if body, that will be executed. And if the Boolean expression's result is false, then it will comes outside of this if statements body, and then whatever statements is written after this closing curly braces, that will be executed. Then this is the flow diagram of writing the R if statement. So first it is condition, and if the condition is true, then there are some conditional codes which will be executed, and if the condition is false, then it will be comes outside of the if statement's body. And then this is an example of writing R if statement. So let us x is a vector which is assigned with integer variable, that is 30 and L. So here is our condition is integer x, that means whether the value which is contained or which is assigned into this vector x, it is integer or not. If it is integer, then the result of this Boolean expression is true, and the writing of the condition is this following syntax, that means is with integer x. So if it is true, then the statements which is coming under this curly braces, that will be executed, and here we have written print x is an integer. So now we can see here that in the x we have assigned a variable 30L, and we know that the class of this value is our integer. So and here we have written that integer x, that means whether the value which is assigned into the vector x, that is integer or not, and it is an integer value. So the condition stays true, so it will execute this statement in print x is an integer. And if we will write that is let it is numeric x, then x is not a numeric value, or you can say here as let complex. So complex x, that it is not true, that means it will not execute these statements, otherwise it will execute the statements which is written outside of this closing braces. If we will written here like print x is an other type of values, so this will be executed. But here in this example, the statement is or you can say the Boolean expression which you have written inside the if, that gives the result as true. So it will execute this print x is an integer statement. So when the above code is compiled and executes, it produces the following result, that is x is an integer. Some codes or some instructions which will be executed if the Boolean expression which is written inside the if it gives the result as false, then there is a block of statement which will be executed. So here this is the syntax of writing if else statement. In the previous there is only if statement, there is no else part, and here in this we are having a if statement and another one is having an else statement. So in the if we are providing a condition, but in the else we are not providing any type of condition. So this is the syntax you have to remember, that whatever the conditions or the Boolean expression which will be calculated, or which is or whose result is depends on the execution of these statements, that will be written in only in the if block. And then there are some statements which will be executed if this expression will be true, and if this expression results false or gives a result as false, then there may be some statements or there is a body which is called as else block. So that statements which are enclosed within this block, it will be executed, and this is the syntax of writing if with else statement. And then if the Boolean expression evaluates to be true, then the if block of code will be executed, otherwise else block of code will be executed. And then this is the flow diagram, and here is our if condition code. So you can say the statements are written inside this if the condition is true, and the statements which will be executed if the condition is false, that will be treated as else code. So here is our flow, that means here is our condition, and on the basis of the condition the statements will be executed, and if it is true, then the statements which is enclosed within the if block, that will be executed, and if the condition stays false, then whatever the statements written inside the else block, that will be executed, which is treated as else code. And then the if else and if else statement. That means we can use multiple if else statements in a R language. So, an if else statement can be followed by an optional else if else statement, which is very useful to test various type of conditions using single if else or you can say single if else if statement. In the previous decision making statements, we have seen that only we can take a single condition, but when we want to choose or we want to test multiple conditions, then there is a concept of writing multiple if else statements. So, when using if else statements, there are few points to keep in mind, or you have to remember something. So, an if can have 0 or 1 else, and it must come after any else ifs. You can remember that if in an if statement we can have 0 number of else statement. That means you do not need to write any type of else statements, or if you will not write any else statement, the code will execute positively, or you can say it is a right code, it will be executed without any error. And one if can have only one else statements, and the else statement can have only come after any type of if statements. And if we are using else if, then the else statements, or you can say only else, and there you have to remember that there are different types of statements like if, else if and else. So, you have to write when we are using if, else if and if. So, the syntax of writing is our first we have to write if statement, then we have to write the else if condition and then else. That means inside the if we can write one condition and then another condition will be written inside the else if, and then if both of the condition will be false, then it will execute the block of statements which is written inside the else. So, if an if can have 0 to many else ifs, and they must come before the else, and once an else if succeeds, none of the remaining else ifs or else will be tested. That means we can enter multiple if else statements inside a program, or you can say inside a language, and when we are writing multiple if else statements, then when one else if statement succeed or it is executed correctly or without any error, then other else if statements which have written in that programming, that will be not tested. Okay? So, this is the syntax of writing multiple if else statements. So, you can see here we have written 3 conditions inside Boolean expression 1 condition, in second condition this is our third condition. You can also provide many number of conditions here, but you have to remember whatever conditions we have to write, that will be within this, that means before else and after if. And then there are some statements are written inside their respective blocks which will be executed if the respective condition will stay true. That means here are some statements that will be executed if this Boolean expression 1 will true, and if this Boolean expression 1 will true, then it will not choose, it will not go for any other conditions. And then if Boolean expression 2 is true, or you can say if let this condition stays false, then it will the control will come outside of this if block, or you can say after the closing braces, what is the statement? It is our else if condition statements. Then it will be executed, and within this else if we have written another condition. So, then we have to test this condition also, and if this condition will false, then it will the control will come outside of the else if block also. And then in the outside of the else if block there is another statement, and this statement will be executed next. So, there is this statement also contain another condition. So, else if Boolean expression 3. So, if this condition will false, then the statements will not executed, and the control it comes at a outside of this block also, and then it will execute, and in the else block there is no condition. So, it will execute these statements which is written inside the else block. And let us take another example, that if this expression will be true, then it will execute only this, and it will not check all of these conditions. And if it is false and then it will be true, then these statements will be executed. Then the conditions which is written inside this, that will be not tested, and also the statements which is written inside that will be not executed, and also the statements inside the else block will not be executed. So, you have to remember these things, that you can enter multiple if else statements inside a language, or you can write that, but we have to go through a proper sequence of writing that. That means first we have to write the if condition, then else if, how many types of number of else if you can write, and at last we have to write an else block. And the else block does not contain any type of condition, and then the statements which is written inside the else block, it will be executed if all the conditions, or you can say all the if and else if statements gives result as false, then this will be executed. So, let us discuss it with an example, that now x is our vector, and inside that we have stored 3 number of element. One is what is truth. So, these are 3 elements, and these are character types, and this is one logical expression. We have already discussed about this operator, modulus symbol, then in, then modulus. That means the elements, it is present or it belongs to that vector or not. You can also give. That means if this expression, or you can say if this Boolean expression gives the result as true, then it will execute this, and if it gives the result as false, then it will print the statements which is written inside the else block. So, you can see here there are 2 truth, t, small t, it is started with small t, and it is started with capital T. So, you have to remember that it is the character, and when we are choosing the character, small t is another character and capital T is another character. So, the word, it is not similar. Okay? That means this is one character value, it is another character value. So, it is to condition given that the element truth, it is present inside the x vector or not, or you can say whatever the value we are given, it belongs to the vector or not. If it belongs, then truth is found, otherwise truth is not found. So, here you can see that truth is present, but what is the appropriate character value of the truth? It is started with small t. That means it is not similar as this value. So, this is some other value. So, now the truth is not belongs to the vector x. That means the condition, or you can say the Boolean expression gives the result as false. So, it will go for the else statements or else block, and inside the else block we have written that truth is not found. So, when the above code is compiled and executed, it produces the following result, that truth is not found. And here is one note I have given, that here truth and truth are 2 different strings. So, you have to remember that there are some case sensitive cases also. That means you have to keep in mind that small t and capital T both are different things. And then there is another example in which we have used else if condition. In the same, that what is and truth, it is all the elements which will be assigned into this x vector. And in the first condition we have given that truth is belongs to x vector or not. Then truth is found the first time. And then another, and as I have told you that this string and this string both are different. So now it will be go for checking this syntax, that small t started with, and it belongs to the vector x or not. If it is true, then it will execute these statements, and then else if both of these condition is false, then it will go for the else block statements. So if a truth is present in x, no, it is false. So the Boolean expression will give the result as false. So it will the compiler, or you can say the control will come up outside of the if block, or you can say it will execute the statements which is written just after the closing curly braces, and the statement is our else if. So it will go for this, and there is one condition written. So the condition will be tested, and the condition is truth belongs to the x or not. And now you can see truth belongs to x, because this string is similar with these strings. So this Boolean expression gives the result as true. So this expression will be executed, or you can say these print statements will execute, and the statements or the string which is written inside the print statement, that will be gives us output, and the else statement will not go and execute because it stays true. So when the above code is compiled and executed, it produces the following result, that truth is found the second time. So this is all about our today class. So in today class we have discussed about R decision making statements, and in today lecture we have discussed only about if statement and if else statements, and there are some key points which you have to remember. So you better go through the lecture, and if you have any doubt regarding these decision making statements, you can mention it in the comment box. Till then, keep watching. Thank you.